Talha ibn Ubaydullah radiallahu was born into a noble and wealthy merchant family in Mecca. He was tall, handsome, and highly intelligent. On one of his business trips to Syria, a Christian monk told him, "A prophet has appeared in the Haram Sharif. He is the promised prophet we have been waiting for." Upon returning to Mecca, Talha radiallahu learned more about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam through Abu Bakr radiallahu, and he went with him to accept Islam. He is remembered in history as the 8th person to embrace Islam. Talha's bravery during the Battle of Uhud was extraordinary. When the Muslim army was scattered, enemies advanced toward the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Talha radiallahu stood by the Prophet's side using his own body as a shield. He sustained between 80 and 90 sword and arrow wounds, and his right hand was paralyzed, but he did not stop. Seeing his sacrifice, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever wishes to see a martyr walking on earth, let him look at Talha." After this battle, he was known as Talhatul Khair, Talha the Good. Talha radiallahu was an extremely generous person. Once, a large amount of wealth came to him from Iraq, but he spent the whole night worried about having so much wealth. The next morning, he distributed it all among the poor and needy. When his wife asked for something for their family, he said, "Be happy, I have given everything away in the path of Allah." He had a beautiful date garden in a place called Jabia. One day, a poor person asked for some dates. Talha radiallahu not only gave him dates, but also donated the entire garden to him. When someone said, "This garden was worth a lot," he replied with a smile, "The reward with Allah is much greater and everlasting." A tragic chapter in his life was the Battle of Jamal. Due to political confusion, Talha radiallahu took a stance against Ali radiallahu. However, he later regretted it and decided to leave the battle. Ali radiallahu reminded him of a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which said, "You will not fight against Ali." Talha radiallahu then regretted his actions and wanted to turn back. However, a partisan shot an arrow from a distance which struck his leg. He died from blood loss. His last words were, "I hope Allah will forgive me for this mistake." Talha ibn Ubaydullah radiallahu was one of the Ashara Mubashara, the 10 companions promised paradise. His life teaches us valuable lessons. May Allah grant us all the courage, generosity, and love for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Talha radiallahu had. Ameen.